what's up, everyone? Welcome to Check Me. I want to do a quick free agency roundup of some things that are still looming in the air, some wins from some teams, and then also some interesting decisions from some teams. So, just want to start off by the Steelers signing Patrick Peterson. I think it's a great pickup for the Steelers. Patrick Peterson is a guy that I think ideally will work well with Mike Tomlin. They have him on a 2-year deal. Not sure what the package was, but a veteran quarterback like Patrick Peterson, going to that Steelers defense, I think is an amazing move. Not only for him to kind of go and play that nickel or play him and Minka Fitzpatrick play, but adding depth to that secondary. I'm not sure if he'll be at cornerback or if they typically what happens with defensive backs, they move him to a nickel or a free safety position where they can see the field and make calls across the field on a 2-year deal. So of course they probably say, hey, look, we want this veteran experience. I like the fact they're bringing him in to work with the secondary. So I think it'll be a great match made in heaven for the Steelers. I also want to say with the Chiefs not resigning, I think Orlando Brown, they actually brought in Jawan Taylor from the Jacksonville Jaguars on a 4-year, $80 million contract, $60 million guaranteed as well too. He had a great 2022 season. This will be something that can help Patrick Mahomes block Patrick Mahomes. Now, looking at Kansas City in the cap space, they probably can't pay him, but they have $9 million in cap space. So that's the big thing there, $9 million in cap space. So, it'll be interesting to see how they work other things around them. But I think that the Chiefs are pretty set. I talked about Mike White heading to Miami. Big one. The 49ers beef up their offensive the defensive line. They signed Philadelphia. They signed Javon Hargrave to a 4-year, $84 million contract, $40 million guaranteed at signing. So of course, that's pretty much half of his contract that he gets. They're looking for some immediate support within the first 2 years. And then, of course, what they do in these contracts, when it's a 4-year contract and then most of the money is guaranteed on the front end, they like to restructure so they can have the room to create cap space. They get the most out of the player while they're good. The last 2 years, if the player's playing at the same level, then you get contract negotiations. But most of the time, if they're not, or in that situation that they're not, they can restructure that contract to create more space, for different signings if that guy wants to stay with that team. Hargrave turned 30 in February. Not only that, he had 11 sacks with the Philadelphia Eagles last year. It was a good year for him. There also is some buzz with the Ravens releasing Calais Campbell. I'm gonna talk more about that in a different video, but I think that's a big indicator on what the Ravens intend and plan to do. Now, Bobby Wagner is having conversations with as far as where to go next. There's 2 teams that he's talking with now. Understand, Bobby Wagner represents himself. He's his own agent. We don't talk about that. Roquan Smith, Bobby Wagner, Richard Sherman, Lamar Jackson. These guys represent themselves. They cut the middleman. But they say that he's been talking with the Cowboys and as well as the Seattle Seahawks. But the Cowboys, believe it or not, were interested in him. I think twice in multiple years before. So we'll see what happens with Bobby Wagner and stay close to that. But this is pretty much a quick roundup of free agency. Some small things I think make a big difference with some teams. Of course, Bates, signing with the Falcons. That's a big one. Them adding some depth to that secondary with A.J. Terrell already there. So some big moves. It's still early. We're going to still see a lot more go on. There's still a lot out there, of course, with Lamar Jackson. But I think we saw a good day in free agency with some teams and some players that have been probably talking before landing where they want.